over. Let's see what Astralis and Vitality can bring us on Dust 2. We just left Dust 2. We're going right back into it, ladies and gentlemen. Nuke will be after that, Inferno after that, and then Cloud9 versus the Evil Geniuses. But we're off to the races with the pistol round, and it looks like it's going to be Device and crew heading towards this B site with the bomb.
Yeah, we're not waiting around. We are quick into the action here. Astralis, T-side start on Dust 2, the pick of Vitality. It's a fast lower play as well. There's a player in mid waiting for this exact push, and ZywOo, he's doubled down. This is a man to be terrified of on a good day, even on a bad day. ZywOo with 2, falling out of middle, and Astralis having to fight back tooth and nail. This is always so hard with Glocks as well. Glaive does have a P250, but these Glocks versus USPs not going to be fair fights. And look at how Vitality are tucking in, only taking ridiculously ranged fights. RPK more than favored, even against a P2. But Astralis, they show the bomb, they're going to back up. They don't want to overcommit.
You don't want to do that. ZywOo, certainly a scary person in the server. Not so much out of the server, it's a rather lovely guy. Not one for many words, but here we go. Glaive is going to put all the pressure on these B doors, and with that P250, takes down Masuda, and that does just leave Apex to try to defend the the bomb site of B's honor. However, RPK with a shot there through the door is going to help things a little bit. Glaive really stuck out here on his lonesome at the scaffold. Good for one on ZywOo, but RPK cleans it up with 2 kills of his own in the round. And that's going to be a pistol going the way of the French. Vitality starting this one off right.
Yeah, I like that decision from Vitality in the 5-on-3. They don't, adjust or try and aggress or try and set up for a stack. They just play a completely default CT pistol setup and wait, because they know they can trade their way to a win unless someone for Astralis goes crazy. Of course, the bomb getting dropped in middle certainly helps that for Vitality, as Astralis aren't able to plant inside of B and make things interesting. Because when I saw Glaive get that door kill, I was a little worried for a second, but no bomb, no sight.
No problem.
Yeah, and Vitality on the pistol. They'll start things off. Astralis, Deegs, and Glocks. This is where they should be made an example of by the SMGs. That's a great grenade. Home delivery for Dupree. He's got Prime. And actually, the only cost in that transaction is his health, down to 30 as Astralis set up towards long A.
Yeah, what can ZywOo do with this scout? There's your answer. Let's see, any more ZywOo? Come on. Nope.
He's got some prints there. It's okay.
RPK comes in, helps out.
Oh.
I'm glad we got to see that. Apex got deleted by the Glock burst.
The old 1-2-1.
But it's still the conversion for Vitality. No upsets today from Astralis in that pistol round, and it was just the pistol round from them. They've instead focused on a buy here in the third. Team Vitality running a bonus round into this one. Only one M4 in play.
Always a risk, but the reward is far greater, and considering they've got the lead, they can afford to do so. 3 AKs maybe on the other side if they could find a victory here. Triple long set up early from Vitality, expecting something fast for Astralis, but it's back towards this B bomb site as they take players in lower. Mizuta flashed out, has to tuck in the corner and hope he doesn't get overwhelmed. Playing with fire right now. Astralis moving in, coming in for the kill. Mizuta gets one. First blood, but flashed out, still here, and with support from Apex, should be able to trade. Magist shoots him through smokes. That's ridiculous. Astralis are inside of the B bomb site, and with a smoke down in the door, there's no one for Vitality that can contain this T-side roster. Even Device coming in for lower to clear up these exits as well. Astralis should be getting the plant in soon.
Oh, and Device might be about to catch the timing out into mid, and that should be ZywOo dealt with. RPK doesn't even go any further than this. He just tries to hold on to this Famous. So Astralis going to put their first round up on the board nice and early. On top of that, they keep it very, very clean as well. And that's going to go pretty heavily in their advantage looking to the future. Obviously, this was a bonus round attempt from Vitality, but holding on to this Famous is actually fairly important, and RPK would love to upgrade it if he can, but Astralis probably aren't going to let that happen. This will be the gun that goes to Masuda into this following round.
But as said, bonus, guns are fine. Vitality don't have to worry. And ZywOo's even on the orb, so maybe it's Astralis who should be worrying after all. Device is yet to don his, thanks to the economy, but Astralis at least win their first rifle round. Last time they played on Dust, it was a 16-10 win to Astralis, while still being the pick of Vitality. But of course, a lot of time has gone on since that game, over a month now, 33 days. More than enough time to reinvent yourself, or at least patch up some of the problems. So we'll see if that is apparent in this game. Vitality on the orb. Astralis getting up Cat, setting up towards mid to allow them to do so. Shox is going to be holding passive, so we won't have this information. But if you're Vitality, you're gambling, you're aware that Astralis can be in this spot. And Vitality right now have no one watching this position. They need to worry soon as the flashes start to come through. But ZywOo going to double back off of Long to come and support with the orb. RPK's committed pit side as well, so Vitality have no problem dealing with an A play, but that's all a ruse, it's all a fake. It's not where Astralis are ending up as they get through these mid doors. That flash is so well timed, and Shox is going to get a lot of damage off. He doesn't spot the full entourage of T's though, and that might, if anything, give misinformation in the way of Vitality. Astralis is still setting up to commit towards B here, with 2 inside of the site. Shox is backing up, hoping they're coming catwalk, but that is not the case.
Oh, at least it wasn't for a moment. And now they leave the lower tunnels. Still likely going to be this mid to be hit, but there was a second there where it looked like maybe, just maybe. That's all it ever will be. Apex now having a look at the double doors, and they line up for him. Oh, he's almost onto a third, and he does get a third.
All right.
As he turns back around, just enough bullets left to finish off that kill. And he'll put a third up on the board for Team Vitality, as it's 3s all across the board for Apex there.
Yes.
And, you know, we can dive into that a bit more, right? For anyone who did miss the Pro League, Vitality, obviously, they lost Alex heading into it, and that meant that Apex had to try and take up the leadership role for Vitality. And that was a decision, you know, we've spoke to about a couple of times now. We learned that Shox, he was like not even in question to become that leader, because he feels like he doesn't operate very well when he has the whole kind of team riding on his back in that sense, right? And so Apex became the guy to go up for discussion now. I don't know about you guys, but back in the Pro League, I felt like from him individually, it feels like this IGL role has kind of reignited his performance in the server, right? And I was kind of curious to see how long that keeps up. Obviously for Vitality thus far, it hasn't been the most incredible of openings, but they are, you know, still relatively new. And you think about the scope of the changes that come in, right? You lose your IGL. That is going to cause some huge sweeping changes. You bring in a new player to compete at this level. And so, you know, I think for Vitality, these are just kind of growing pains right now. And it's all about finding where the team feel comfortable, where people feel comfortable aligning in this system now.
Well, long take here. Very fast one at that. Astralis are all over the map, and Magisk is firing off into the pit. He gets one, but double setup from Shox will trade it. Astralis still hold the lead thanks to a pick they got down mid elsewhere. Device did that with the orb, so that's going to, once again, Astralis up towards this mid to B take. Really good call. They know that there are 2 players at A right now, so only 1 B max. Mizuta, oh, he's not going to be able to do much.
Yeah, but ZywOo will. He's going to pick it up right there. 2v3, actually, as Glaive is on 3 HP. The bomb will be planted, and you can imagine that Vitality will concede this round early on, and the Danes are going to pick up a second.
Yeah, not much else you can do with the low HP and lack of, well, players for Vitality.
I'm still kind of stuck on a tweet that, you know, we saw going into the last game, right?
Okay.
And let me see if I can just pull that on up for all of you. Because it was someone saying something along the lines of, yeah, Fnatic could play against Dignitas with their monitors off and still win, no problem.
Who said that?
I'm just going to have to go through the tweets here and find it, aren't I? I'm not going to retweet it, not going to draw that much attention to it. I mean, nobody can hear us, right? So.
No, definitely not 100,000 people.
Oh, okay, in that case. Good.
Was it someone we know, or was it just
Oh, no. No one we know.
No one we know. Okay. Well, they were wrong anyway, so good job, person. As, well, Dignitas.
Here it is. Even if Fnatic played with their monitors turned off, Dignitas would lose.
I bet you feel stupid now, huh?
I bet you feel like a sad cat.
Yeah. Good job. It's Counter-Strike, baby. Anything is winnable, and that makes the fact that, you know, a team like Astralis, who have had reigns and who've lasted so long at the top, even more impressive. Because any game is win or losable if you're Chad Burchill. So it's just a bit of a dance back and forth for these two jumping players. It's a bait on the Vitality side to get ZywOo into position, and so that's why Xyp9x doesn't want to fall for it. He will fall off instead, let Astralis take catwalk and set up towards this A take.
Yeah, now well-timed Molotov from Shox has at least kept Astralis at bay for a few more moments, but now grouping 4 players up at the catwalk and still with the availability to have Xyp9x come through long late in the round, they now drop these smokes and look to set themselves up for this A play. Holding the cross is going to be a man you might have heard of by the name of ZywOo. He's sat here with the AWP, playing the crossroads. His attention is a bit divided right now between this and long, however. If this A-side play looks to come through, you'll probably see ZywOo take a couple of shots and then fall back to try and join RPK long side for the retake. They hear the smokes going in, and this is where ZywOo tries to post himself up. Now, he knows he's a few seconds late to get to the crossroads, and so doesn't even want to chance the peak. Instead, he falls off the angle, gives up the A site, and this is now a 5-on-5 retake for Team Vitality.
You'll notice Astralis' utility. They still have 2 Molotovs and an HE. Now, I'm sure those are by design, and not only can they be used to slow down rotations, but if you save one on Xyp9x, you could use it for the clutch, and I imagine that's what he's got in mind, throwing it on the bomb later on. Instead, no, double CT molly, and I like that as well, because it's just going to stall this retake out for 15 seconds here. Vitality's still got to go for it, and now they start to come through. The bomb's already half-ticked, and Magisk is lining up kill after kill. Glaive as well will join the fray, and ZywOo has got to run. That's a great call for Astralis with the utility, just using it back-to-back, stalling things out so late, and by that point, Astralis, they're fully set up, they know where to be watching, and they know where Vitality are coming from. 3 rounds locked in on this T side despite the early start from the Frenchman. And, well, that start will be drawn to a close now with the money gone for Vitality. Just as saved off on ZywOo. A tactical timeout coming in for the French side so they can reconvene. Figure out what they want to do in this round around this AWP that ZywOo has on his shoulders. On his back, rather. I don't know why he would have it on his shoulders, but the intentions are there.
Well, yeah, I think that's something interesting to take into account, right? I think Team Vitality are a team that could stand to... I feel like benefit is maybe the wrong word. Like, can kind of undo or at least help out with this kind of leadership responsibility on Apex with this coaching role that we have for this event, right? Obviously, suddenly, you know, Apex entrusted with the leadership of this squad, and now he's got some time for Remy to kind of help out while the round is live and offer his perspective, which could, you know, maybe be appreciated by the Vitality side. At the same time, I'm not sure, because I can't imagine that's something they want to get too used to, right? Like, I imagine you want to have this as some time for Apex to still kind of feel out what it means to be leading this squad. But certainly, you know, if we see them falling on the back foot, that's where something like that, you know, having your coach able to interject, especially when you are relatively new to the IGL role, it is going to come in handy.
The word that a lot of players use when talking about it is like game plan. Like, the coach is good at reminding you of your game plan, your broader picture, what you want to accomplish in this match, how you want to do it, how you want to condition your opponent. A lot of games like this, you're going to have a plan coming into it. But right now, the plan is disrupted for Astralis. A full 5-man stack on the site, and they will make quick work of it. Great trading for Astralis. Everyone looking in the right way. They don't take the double AWP, but they don't need the double AWP.
Yeah, not here, not at this juncture. But we're going to see these rifles back out for the side of Vitality. AWP is going to get flipped over to ZywOo, who has a pretty decent long spawn. A site just gets absolutely toppled in that round by Astralis. And that's the Danish dynamite that we like to see.
Kablooey.
Yes, kablooey.
Wow.
Kablow. Anyway, Device out quick with his AWP. He's going to go straight for the mid doors. There's no S in sight for him. He's going to be W all the way. Mizuta in the upper bit of tunnels.
And that's a read, right? Off the back of not only feeling, but someone from one of his teammates surely would have called. There's lots of nades long. They must have a triple stack, and Device knows he can run outdoors and kill, knowing there's no mid player because there's a triple A setup. So good read, good information, and a good B rush for Astralis. They will take 2 dinks. They will also take 2 kills, so it's worth its weight in gold. Device trying to cut off the rotate does fall, but Glaive is going to find a trade onto RPK once again, leaving ZywOo on his lonesome.
Yep, a little bit of Jame time here for ZywOo. And it looks like he might get hunted. Glaive really close to the fire. I'm not sure he's ready to get burned. ZywOo a little weary of it. All eyes on ZywOo if he can keep this AWP going in the next round. It is a little bit of saving grace for Vitality.
I mean, ZywOo's next level smart, man. He hears the long steps, he backs up, he scopes, he moves in. That's just to avoid the scope noise getting heard, so they don't know exactly where he is. And, missed shot. That should be him dead. Can't hit them all, apparently. Glaive is going to take him down. Good flash from Zipex as well.
There's a world, though, where ZywOo no-scopes right there and kills 2, which is also a pretty terrifying idea. Wouldn't have mattered in terms of the round win.
It's a pretty common world as well, given how many clips this guy has bestowed upon us with that weapon.
Yeah, he is the chosen one.
Yeah, born on the day that Counter-Strike was created. Or released, maybe, is a better word.
It all feels a little too good to be true, doesn't it?
I don't believe
doesn't
this
it,
guy.
Man? He was planted by someone on this earth to become some sort of CS god to begin with. And I always kind of felt like ZywOo's destiny. But you got to think about how like his life must have just changed, right? Because obviously there was loads of like speculation around when he would get picked up for ages, and he was like prioritizing education and kind of taking it real slow.
Respect.
Played in that one show match, but then that kind of just been it thus far, and like turning up to LANs and stuff locally, and now like suddenly is one of these staple names in the French scene, like traveling the world when the world allows it, and like looking around and having all that going on. It must be a wild path for him to be on.
Oh, as such a young dude as well. Like, yeah, I think that's a great point. People forget about that as well. So many people are going like, oh yeah, without him taking this opportunity when he got offered slots, you're wasting it. But if anything, all it did was up his like marketability, if anything, or
market
up his
value.
Market value, better word. Yeah, because he's more desirable and less attainable. That's great. And
it's supply and demand.
Yeah, basic maths here.
Demand was high and supply was real low because it's one dude who was just like, nah,
not coming, not playing. I'm waiting. And yeah, like you said, respect for finishing.
That's why I think it's great that Vitality, like were the ones to go ahead and swoop him up, and actually like give him that limelight straight away. And I feel like the Vitality organization are definitely very, very happy that they made that decision, right? Yeah. Because there were some remarks on like the G2 side, looking to pick him up back in the day and then deciding against it and things like that, right? Which, we never know the full scope of, but...
Well, when we look at this from a Vitality perspective, at least, they've gone as far as, even when MBK is on the squad, they've gone as far as to build out their entire game plan around what ZywOo has to offer in the server.
That's awesome, though.
And when he's firing on all cylinders is a, pretty cliche saying at this point, but when he's out there doing the things that he's known to do, which is, without even intentional, very flashy, very effective, that is something you kind of want to build around.
Well, that's actually a great point, Trace. I know this round's live, but I really want to mention this. When we last had these guys play at Pro League together, and Astralis won, we talked to Device after that game, and Device in the head-to-head, despite winning the series and being the top performer of the series, went 3-13 in AWP duels against ZywOo. And we asked him after, we were like, why is it so hard? And he was going on about how they set ZywOo up, they play around and they flash him a lot, and all that is very, very true. So it shows, Vitality, they are building their roster around this guy, to a good extent, and the results are there to justify doing that. So let's see if they continue, is all that we're wondering, as Astralis set up towards his A site. We're just going to try and get the bomb ready to go down. Zipnex mollied, though, and RPK finding the first from Gandalf. Traded quickly, Apex damage, but damage will not be converted, and there's no HE on him to finish off the job. The Zipnex is so low. Glaive looking for a kill. Zipex has finished off the kill onto Apex on Catwalk, and that gives room for Astralis to move. Yeah, very doable, though, for Vitality. You see that grenade, it lands, but, as low as these Astralis players are in Zipex and Glaive, there's just, now it's time to go back to the drawing board for Vitality. Looks like they want to get close to this bomb. Zuda looking on from CT spawn, Shocks on the Catwalk. Both very low inside the site, the Astralis players.
Oh, and Shocks has almost got the position needed. He's on 3, and he might even cement all 4, but no, not quite. Glaive does deal with him. regardless of how close they get it, it's still an Astralis round.
That's such a smart play in the 2-on-2 there, right? And the reason being is because they slow it down. They realize that Vitality are taking a long time to rotate and they're not coming CT. That leaves, you know, Cat and Long as options. Astralis, they peer towards Cat after Zitness gets that kill on Apex, and then they realize the bomb's planted in the middle of the site. If they go Catwalk and Vitality come Long or CT, they lose the round. So they have to hide, they have to play the bomb, and they just tuck in like little goblins cornered inside of the site, playing the bomb. And yeah, it works wonderfully.
Well, we have a rather humbling tweet from JW that I might read out once this round kind of approaches its kind of conclusion. But we'll let the round get started. Here we go, Device opening up, but there is a trade from ZywOo. And still holding on to this long angle. Device getting double peek, has to be careful here. It's going to do damage in through the long doors. Masuta, he's got the bomb over in T-spawn. Now, it's only one man on it, and they do have Shocks pinned over at long side. I imagine they're going to fixate on dealing with this one fight while they got it, and they do. And now they can turn their attention towards the bomb and this problem that is Masuta. He's all alone on it, and this is a very big ask for him to hold on to this, because the problem he's going to have is he has no info, no idea what's going on anywhere else on the map. And so while he knew that Zipex was over here at long and he knew Device was there as well, it's been some time since. They can really be anywhere. And here they go, grouping up as three. The Danes moving together, and Dupree will lock it in. Now, I'll read out this JW tweet because it's a nice kind of humble tweet from JW. Yeah. A man who's known for his kind of outlandish antics in the server. He came out with a tweet saying, despite how much I hate losing and how I'm annoyed personally, I feel kind of happy that the same cause I played with / against since the beginning of 2013 can still put up these amazing matches against each other. It's truly a legendary rivalry, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed it. GG.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A great tweet from JW. 10 out of 10.
Respect.
Whoever his social media manager is nailing it. No, ZywOo over here towards short, looking for an opener that's never going to arrive. They bypass him, they drop down into mid, and it might be a fast mid to be from Astralis.
Yeah, fast attempt, but Apex denies it immediately. He is alone, and he has to put up more. Only one. Still could be enough, but the bomb has been lost for Astralis, and that is a big problem. Vitality once again have control of it in middle, and Glaive is coming through this spawn to try and find it. There's a man in the window who's just dropped into the site, and Vitality, this is crazy. They've given away the bomb, they've gone back towards B, they've cleared the tunnels. They're getting very confused now as well, but they're going to double wrap back onto Astralis. Glaive picking up that bomb and going CT to A. If he does that, he's going to walk into his trap. If he goes B, he's also going to walk into a trap. But RBK has just missed the timing coming in from lower, and he is not going to be able to stop this bomb from getting planted. If anything, Vitality have just set themselves up in a 2-on-2 retake. They had the bomb, and not only have they given it, but now they're back in the exact same positions. They try and play timing, but they get timed. And while Astralis are very confused as to how they've gotten in this situation, they're very glad they are.
What a bizarre turn of events right here. Still with 30 seconds left on the clock, I don't think the bomb's been tapped yet. And RPK, just on his investigation, has netted him nice little shot in the side there from Glaive. Now Shocks could win this round. He comes to the window, finds the first one to Dupree. That's going to create an awkward situation. Glaive has to tuck in here to the bomb box. Shocks just playing around, toying with the window, will not be ready for Glaive to peek the door. And albeit Shocks with 3 kills in that round, it's not going to be enough. And Astralis go up to 9. Now,
yeah, that was crazy.
Interestingly enough, you know, and this is kind of a talking point too, that seemingly, you know, some people are a little divided on. Perhaps you two can have an opinion on it as well. ZywOo, top 20 player, 2019 via HLTV.org, right?
Yeah.
Now, the arguments against this are sometimes, well, Vitality, what are they showing in terms of accomplishments? You know, why aren't some of these other players that are certainly up there in terms of skill and, I guess, demeanor in the server, they are winning championships? What do you guys think?
Okay, so we're going off HLTV rankings. So already, like, you know, you always have to take rankings into account as to how they determine it, right? Like, because you could be arguing something completely different anyway. I feel like that was justified, you know? His performance at Tier 1 events in playoffs was excellent. I feel like that's got to be the biggest metric, right? Playoffs, Tier 1 events, Tier 1 teams, performance. Like, those are, that's what matters.
I would love to revisit this once this buy round is out the way, because I've been thinking about that as well. But Device down here with the AWP over in mid, looking to get the opener. It's Dupree picking up the pace over towards long side that catches shots crossing into the pit. Zipex doubles up and helps his teammate out over towards long. So now Astralis sat in a 5-on-3 in the blink of an eye. And they might be about to reach double digits unless ZywOo, Apex, and Masuta can have one hell of an impact in this round. And here's the problem. Astralis, sitting in a 5-on-3, they don't have to commit to anything. You know, the ball is in Team Vitality's court at this point to go for the pushes, to take these info plays. And all the stress of the round kind of falls on their shoulders as a result. Masuta is alone over here in mid, trying to hold for these players, looking to catch any in rotation. But Device is primed, ready, spots that he's moved away from B. And this is just going to be the save for Vitality. They can't even give this one a go.
Yeah, they're going to back away. This half has slipped away from the French side. 10-3. But anyway, I suppose we could revisit that.
So you know, we talk about how like ZywOo came in and like in his kind of debut year got ranked on, you know, in the HLTV top 20, obviously. And I think it's an interesting one because you kind of look at like, I would say another case study of that, and one that kind of ties into this game would be someone like Kirby, right? Obviously, he won an MVP back at the major. I think he was, what, 18 when he picked that up? And he went on in reflection and kind of like talked about it in a way where it was both positive and negative for him as an individual, because suddenly, you know, like the pressure's a lot higher. There's kind of like a very unique tone where you show up, you play so well, you do great. He picked up an MVP, and then he said, you know, like it became pretty hard in the sense that you have all these expectations riding on you. You're under a microscope. And I think there's, you know, there's kind of like a side where maybe that could be looked at negatively for someone like ZywOo, because he's already reached, you know, very, very high in the rankings. He was, what, second? So what if he does just fall off? Not saying it's going to happen. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would, but it's certainly happened historically where players have came in, look sick, and then we do get kind of a drop-off period where they struggle to match up to it. They're getting all this flack for not reliving these grand old performances.
It's not even last round of the half and Astralis are buying auto snipers. That's how you know where their head's at. Like, you know, they're in full control of this game, and there's a bunch of autos in T-Spawn if Vitality want to make the journey. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point you make, Harry. You know, a lot of people, they win a major, they become an MVP. Maybe that's them going, oh, you know, I've achieved everything I want to achieve. I don't think that's the case for Kirby, but I think a lot of people would say that. Maybe, you know, the old Gambit roster is an example. But either way, we're into the action, and Astralis are into the B bomb site. They don't realize Apex cracked through the door, but I think that noise did get heard by the man inside of the site. That was Glaive, and his big ears, and even bigger brain. And he can transpire that information over to his team. Device dropped in middle, does give Vitality a way back into this round, but instead they take it as a way out and look to save for the final round of the half. Aiming for a 4-11 half is not a pretty situation, and you know Astralis are hunting. I mean, they bought 3 DACs at the start of the round. You know they're hunting, so you've got to be very, very careful.
Yeah, Dupree looks like he wants to safeguard some of those too.
Making sure no one's picked them up.
All right, so you guys decided to buy autos. I guess I'll go make sure your rooms are clean. Well, they are trapped inside of long A. And this vice grip that is Astralis is clamping down on the game. 11-3, and they have ran away with this first half on the map pick of Vitality. Oh. That's a good shot there, Dupree. He gets the shot on Masuta, who had a pretty stellar angle, all things considered, but it just doesn't go the way of the French.
There it is. It's out again. Triple dac.
But
like, even that is successful because what this has done, all this does for Astralis, it means you don't get your spawns, but, you know, someone does because 2 players are pushed out fast. But, you know, it's not like it's money lost. It's the last round of the half. So Astralis, they do some damage, but they do lose a player in the form of Device. Not getting flashed up catwalk, taking dry fights. Now, I'm sure Astralis, they're feeling confident. It is 11-3, so mistakes are going to, you know, be made. Cracks are going to show. And a chance for Vitality to get 4 at the end of the half. That's what they were aiming for with this save.
Ooh. Apex is going to look to play outside of the site here, and with RPK pushed up on catwalk, he's got a lot of information and also a lot of friends that he didn't want to hang around. So this has not gone well for Vitality.
Yeah, that grenade goes right past Magician, knocks him from 11 to 6. He is somehow still standing, and the second man is not. Apex is going to get blown out the water from Zipex dropping lower, and ZywOo smoked off on the cross, can't stop anything here. But Nasuta can, coming in for the catwalk flank and denying the bomb plant. There's still time for Astralis, but a man stuck in the site with low HP will be finished off. The bomb actually dropped off and fell down lower. Zipex has grabbed it, and he can cut off these rotations. He knows where both these players are. He has B for free.
Oh, the minister himself, ready to deliver his sermon.
Oh, this is smart.
Yeah, he's going to double back around towards this A site. It's Zipex. 1v2, Molotov smoke, time dwindling. And Vitality have no idea. He can walk all the way through there and plant before they have any idea. But he doesn't know where they are.
What?
Oh, well, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, dear. Well, it's a nice try from the Clutch Minister, but not one that will add to the trophy cabinet. However, this series could be Astralis 11-4 up. Let's see if they can keep the heat packing, or if Vitality can bounce back in the second half at Dust.
Never thought you were sitting next to me. I don't understand. It's just I never seen you smile. You wanna make out, give me a second. It's just you never talk, I never listen. When do we fall in love? Make up your mind, honey, 'cause I can't pretend to like you.
We are one, and we are in the game with Astralis and Vitality, and one where the half certainly goes in the way of the Danes. They are running the board as it stands, and Vitality will look to flip that around and do something different, do something strange for a little change as we look at this second half, and they're on the T side. They're going to set their sights on long A. The GG.bet odds are going to reflect currently where we stand, and most appropriately. If you are going to gamble, make sure you do so responsibly. Thank you very much. Now, moving forward, It's a little bit of a split here from Vitality. They split both Catwalk and Long. Device only good for one. Masuda there to get the trade after ZywOo falls, and Zipex left in the sight all on his lonesome. It's being shot at from multiple angles. And that's going to be a bomb plant. Look at Glaive. He's already up elbow. He's gotten all the way into this site. They're not going to expect that. One tap on Masuda. That's going to even up the score a little bit here as they look to retake and get this defuse.
Yeah, sweatily holding crouch was Mizuta until finally he gets checked. Glaive clears every corner, no matter where you hide. You can't hide from Glaive. Shox can fight back though, and RPK dropped as well, leaves the aforementioned man in a 1-on-2. Both CTs on the site. Headshot angle is good for Shox, and the jumping Glock looking for a little bit more. Yet to tap the bomb. Dupree's so low. He's going to try and stick it, and Shox will burst in midair. He was only a couple of points away from death, so goes to, you know, the standard, but Shox finding the pistol has set Vitality up to draw this one a bit closer.
Just straight splash. Yeah, Vitality needed that one to stay in the running here on Dust 2. You might have noticed at the top right are our next maps of Nuke and Inferno.
Over here towards Cat Device's nade. Actually doesn't find any damage. Looked like it was going to, but tags Apex for what, 3? So I think he's going to be able to walk that one off just fine. Astralis with 3 players over here towards the A-bomb site, and catwalk control taken for Vitality. Astralis actually go ahead and leave mid in its entirety, setting up for an A play. Now that looks to be the right read in this round. There is a man still floating around down towards lower. That was RPK, but he's since rejoined the rest of the squad for this Vitality side, and that pretty much commits you to this A side take because you don't know what's going on in those tunnels anymore. They might look to send a man back in, and they do, as Apex tries to clear the back line, but he's not going any further than lower. And so this will be the A side play. Device holding from the ramp.
Oh, there's a tag, already softening them up. The more he can find, the better it is for Astralis, as these pistols can finish off the job. I say pistols, 3 of the guns are scouts, and they are coming to life on the A site. More and more damage per second. Oh dear, everywhere you turn, there is a scoped rifle looking your way, and Shox only a little health left. He has found a second kill. Player coming up catwalk, he's gonna fake out the bomb. Looking for the fight, he got it. Magisk is dead, Shox in a 1-on-1. He knows that he's close, and he's got the damage as well.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed. Dupree on the Deeg, 10 seconds, and Shox, he has got to fake the plant, but instead Dupree comes around wide, and he will pick it up for Astralis. The force buy goes their way after all.
How about that?
Yeah, you know, Shox so close to getting that job done, and he's someone who, you know, like when he joined this squad, we were expecting him to really deliver some big performances. And I feel like, you know, for a lot of people, maybe the consistency just wasn't there for Shox as an individual, right? But it does feel like as time's gone on, he has started to look better. And I think, you know, some of that as well coming from the fact that Apex is the guy with the leadership responsibilities. That's come with some changes for Shox as well. We see him a lot of the time in kind of this this lurk role, right? Where he still has a lot to offer to the team, but a lot of the decisions seem like they're made on the back of kind of his intuition when he's elsewhere on the map. And he's been looking like a treat. Like even in that complexity game the other day, there was even that tweet from Jason Lake saying that, you know, ZywOo's meant to be the problem, not Shox.
Yeah.
And yet there he was doing the damage. So he's been looking good, but not good enough to win them that anti-eco round in the last. And that's now put them into these force buy wars, really into the thick of it for Vitality. If they don't pick this round up, it's 13-5 in favor of Astralis up against an eco round for Vitality. So a lot riding on the success of these pistols in this round.
Oh, Device, he's got a little gap in the smoke, thrown down by Vitality and abused by Device. 2 kills from it. It's going to be a third for Glaive as he drops another with the scout. The bomb has been lost, but kills have been found by Vitality. And remember, this is only an eco. They are forced into it, hoping for a little bit more than just 2 kills, though. Unfortunately, they will not get a choice, a say in the matter. It's Astralis running wild, 13-5. Pistol may have gone the way of Vitality, but since that point, it's a double down for Astralis. And that's, remember, that's both pistols in this game. Vitality, they found the CT pistol in the second round with Astralis being 4 Glocks. Astralis won their first rifle on the T side. So Vitality have 5 rounds, 2 of them being pistols, 3 of them being the pistols and conversions. And so it's certainly not boding well considering Astralis are in such control, manhandling the likes of Vitality. Push towards the top of middle. And even with Dupree supporting lower, long side device as well. So nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, but the Butchers. And, well, Vitality get made quick work of.
That they are, which leads me to bring you
Me?
a C-Stream update. Hello. No, not you, dork. Anyway, let's take a look at this right here on the C-Stream. FaZe Clan versus Movistar Riders. And in the first map, it was Movistar Riders. It goes 16-9. They're looking at halftime now, and it's an 8-7 score line as they look to close that one out. FaZe really getting punched on here. And they could definitely lose this series. The decider of that one will be Inferno, as well as the decider of ours. Imagine that.
Ooh, look at this pace. Look at the speed for Vitality. Look how quickly they are out long. They almost caught Astralis, backing up from CT to set up inside of the site, but Device is able to post up with the orb, rather.
I guess you could pose with it too.
Yeah, show us what you got, Device. Work that. Flaunt it if you got it.
Oh, man. Well, Deve and crew are going to hold on tight. Still 5 alive on both sides. Utility probably not exactly where Vitality want it to be. They should be able to get smokes down in the cross at the very minimum, but still, they're going to have their work cut out for them. Deep Cat. It's going to be that a glaive.
Shake that thing, Device.
Oh, he's going to get it at some point. He's going to get the peek he's been waiting for, and he waits all around. And then when it's offered to him, he cannot land the shot. Now, Glaive moving into position inside of the site does have Zipex as well to drop that assisting Molotov, and that's going to hold Vitality back, stops them in their tracks, and delays this cross at the crossroads. Lots of damage done from Zipex and Dupree. And while Vitality were up 5-4, that bomb is now dropped in no man's land, and they are a man down. They are able to retrieve it and now look to get into this A site, but it's not been an easy path thus far, and it's certainly not going to get any easier now. 4-on-3 in the retake are Astralis. Magis spots a man up on the boost. Isn't ready for Shox, who's hiding out at Gandalf, and now he tries to pincer on in with the rest of the gang. ZywOo is shut down, but Shox continuing to put up numbers, continuing to be a nuisance. Finally, they deal with Apex, but Shox is on for the ace, so 1v2. And he does just tap down Dupree, makes it look almost too easy. Shox, damage done. Glaive tapping the bomb. He doesn't have a kit, and Shox not able to ace it for the victory, but there's no time for the defuse. Vitality, they get the round. It's Shoxy with 4. And wow, what a game he's having.
Was there time if Glaive grabbed the kit and really quick turn around?
I think if he did it right away, yeah. But
yeah, that second go back at it, I don't think would have happened, but maybe.
That's, a really nice try from Glaive at least, right? It does force Shox's hand getting a default plant and taking Catwalk. You can always feel at risk, but Shox, calm, calculated, and still takes 4 kills. Really nice round from him. Astralis, they're still holding 14. They're still not in a place of worry just yet, but this could be them broken if Vitality win this round, and they look to do it fast into that B site, somewhere Astralis have not had to worry about all game long. And Magiska's here alone. He can only put up a single kill, and Astralis look at them as a group, as a gaggle, as a murder, as they move together towards that B site, already bailing, as nothing is found on the cross. No lurks are giving away kills for Astralis. And they'd rather just keep their economy intact, as said, on the edge of eco. So it makes sense to give Vitality 7.
Yeah, Astralis just need 2 and push us into that second map of their pick. A little bit of nuke action.
Yeah, big round for Vitality to pick up though, right? Because you think about the context in which they put this 6th on the board, and with everyone dying, the money was in a really rough spot. That's why we saw so many Galils coming into this round. But they deal with it well. They get a B play. They lock down a site that's very, very hard to retake, and Astralis don't even bother giving it a go. They just give that respect away of Vitality and now look to provide some answers here in this round. ZywOo buying up a scout. His choice. Could have had an AK, but he wants the scope, and he might look to take a peek down mid with it. Not able to find any damage on the crossing player, and it is just one man crossing. The other 3 for Astralis are out here long side. They try and set Magisk up down in the pit, and with this MP9, he looks to get in the face of Team Vitality. He best shot straight away. Apex trying to get a handle back on the situation, but that's just not happening. And this leaves ZywOo and RPK now 2-on-4 as ZywOo puts up a frag over in mid, but he is all alone. His team have been stripped away from him, armed with only a scout. And to make matters worse, flanking down into the lower tunnels. Oh, ZywOo! Hell of a shot to land.
Good God, it's just not fair.
No.
It's not fair.
What?
Doesn't matter in the long run. I mean, Astralis will go up to map point, but my goodness, at least he's putting on a show for
Man,
us.
Glaive got deleted there. Like, it's a great push. It's a great decision from him. And it's a fight he should have won. But that is just the ZywOo effect. You know, that's what he's good at doing. However, you know, getting away with one kill that you shouldn't have gotten away with in a round is not going to be enough for Team Vitality here. As nice as it was, it doesn't remedy that 15th on the board. Device is holding for the fast play, and now on the back of seeing that, Astralis have read that this is going to be the B play. The nades have found so much damage, and Dupree looks to get this one put to bed. There it is. Device actually gets it through the double door, and Astralis take Dust 2 in a resounding fashion. They send the message.
And should we need a third one, it's going to be Inferno. For the time being, though, let's kick the tires and light the fires here in Hugo.
Let's burn some buildings down, Trace.
Well, okay, maybe not that far. It seems a little...
Virtually, of
That's
course.
our son. Our son. Arson.
Arson,
You can
yeah,
see
yeah,
where I was
yeah,
going with that, right? Like arson, our son, kind of
Look at that
worked.
dink. Glaive with a P250. Maybe it was one of the Glocks, but someone's hit ZywOo in the face from outside to heaven, and he's on 1 HP. Very, very lucky to be alive, and he's got to appreciate that, because his teammates, they don't get quite as lucky.
Yeah, quick kill from Device. Shox is trapped out on a limb, and now he's got no limbs left as Device takes him off. ZywOo, 1 HP, 2 USP 1 taps to turn this into a 3-on-3, and they haven't been able to deal with him yet. The B site does have players deep within it, in the form of Masuta and RPK. And Astralis don't know this. They're still clearing the vents, so they don't know that all 3 players are down in the bomb site just yet. And ZywOo finally dealt with, now leaves all of this onto RPK, and he's got to face off against Magisk. He's looking to wrap around and find him. Magisk didn't mean to fake the jump, but he did, and we'll pretend like he did it on purpose, and that did bait RPK to move back into the bomb site. Even though he gets the kill, there's no round to be found on the back of it. Astralis, they get this pistol round here on Nuke in the bag.
That they do, and even though he didn't mean to jump on there and fall right off in the control room, that somehow works out in his favor.
Yeah, I was trying to jump on the panel to get out, but I think he hit his head on something. The roof can be low. There's some like vents and things in the ceiling. You can see in the way, but still a good round for Astralis. And Trace, I was going to say, what's worrying now is if we think to Dust 2, where Vitality were actually able to get like, what, 5 rounds at the end of things? They got, or 7 rounds, sorry. They got 2 pistols and converted one of them. Well, Astralis have already taken the pistol on the T side, so now things get really rough. Now they can just start to piece together round by round by round of Vitality. They don't have any of the free rounds that they would, you know, potentially get with full anti-ecos, with Glocks for Astralis, or even with P250 armor. So right now, out of the gate, they've got to fight with their backs up against the wall.
Yep, some extra Tony Sastries on this one. It's getting a little bit heated. ZywOo with the scout up in the rafters. Magisk has found his way all the way into this hell area. He's not alone. Dupree's going to go up top. They're going to crunch this ladder and perhaps swing into upper if the opportunity presents itself because, well, Vitality, they're on a ramp push. And just 2 players alive here inside of the upper site. Zipex can't find the kills there necessary to shut it completely down. And so far, this has gone pretty well for Vitality. Still a minute left. Bomb now going to be planted by Glaive. I say that he taps it. Shox is going to walk right through the squeaky door.
Oh, now they know. Even sneaking up through the vents, Device sees Shocks peeling away. Oh, does get caught trying to hunt him down. And that's given a 2-on-2 over to Team Vitality. Now, with no bomb planted, there's a good chance they're at least going to attempt this one, right? Shocks rerouting in through the hut. dupreeh has his attention divided between Squeaky Door and the hut. And you'll slowly but surely see Apex looking over here towards outside. I was curious if we were going to see him maybe try and wrap into heaven with all the time that he was given by Astralis, but instead, he'll just keep on the main offensive. And he does best glaive immediately, no less. Half the time off of this bomb, dupreeh deals with the first man, drops down into the site, just trying to buy time. This SMG getting close, but dupreeh with the final 3 bullets in his magazine gets a second round on the board for Astralis and puts that conversion on the tally. Now, there must be some temptation if you're Vitality to throw a bit of an investment into this round.
There's some pistols, though. It looks like we're going to get that at least out of Apex, and he is the shot caller guy. He is leading things over there. dupreeh gets this done with his last bullet. All he really had to do there was get the first kill into Apex in the main, and then he drops off just as he does.
Yes.
And that buys just enough time for that bomb not to get, diffused.
Safe to drop and not go back to heaven, because he probably would have been caught because he was so out on a limb, so wide in the rafters. So, yeah, definitely made the right call there to just fall into the site, take the damage, and kind of just deal with it. Had the clutch anyway. And Astralis have the B site, pretty much. Vitality are rotating down. They hear these footsteps, but there's only so much they can do with the pistols here versus the fast Mac-10 on Magisk. He's just looking to farm up kills and get rich while doing so.
Get rich or die trying.
Well, he's looking for just the first. And I don't think he'll get offered death unless Vitality come back from the lobby to ramp. It's only Shocks here.
Yeah. It's quite the 50-cent investment here for Vitality, too, in the form of pistols, which are not going to go too far or anywhere for that matter. 10 alive in the server. No one has died. The bomb has been planted. And now finally we'll get these two teams actually shooting each other in this round.
Not the old 10 alive at the end of the round. But, ooh, Zipex, he could be on the chopping block here. He thinks they're above him. Not the case. They are right in his face. And Apex with 2 traded swiftly after. No guns to be saved here by the likes of Vitality. Shocks won't find anything either. That's a very costly round for Astralis, considering, at one point that was 5-on-5 with the bomb about to go off. So, yeah, they lose 3 players to the pistols. It's actually a really good call from Vitality, who, you look at that from the offset and you go, why Vitality saving? They have nothing. They don't even have armor. Like, saving a P250 is useless in your next round. You're not going to use it. You've got a rifle. But all Vitality are doing are baiting Astralis into hunting them there and waiting for that to go on. And so Astralis, they kind of fall into the trap and they fight Vitality where Vitality wanted to fight. So some kills go through, but still around for Astralis, and they look for more. Apex is gone from the door immediately as Astralis take a 5-on-4 into their first rifle round.
Not really what they had in mind, is it, Harry?
No, certainly not. And I mean, now, right, you sat a man down. Vitality, they might feel the pressure to try and, gain something for this, like try and take some control elsewhere. And at the very, very least, it's forced a preemptive rotation from Shocks down towards the B side of the map. There's that re-aggression we were kind of talking about. It comes through with ZywOo and Masuta trying to push through the ramp room, and they both meet their demise. Shocks now alone. The man who rotated down to B early in this round has it all on his plate, it all to worry about. As this bomb plant comes in, RPK gets deleted, Shocks is put down shortly after, and it is a fast, flawless 4th on the board for Astralis. Lots of Fs, including the ones in chat for Team Vitality there.
Hey, don't talk to my people like that. I'm just kidding. You do this.
Thank you, Trace. I know you are like the god of
hold on.
The boy of NA or something like that.
That's what I call you.
I would consider myself, say, like a god of Twitch chat. That seems like, quite a title. I don't know that I'm quite ready for that, to be honest. But I do, harmonize with them.
The boy of Twitch chat.
Well, yeah, sure, man. Why not?
Oh, dear. Well, ZywOo, boy, oh boy, he's hit a dink outside onto dupreeh crossing yard, but it's not going to have much consequence because Astralis get lower pretty safely. Now, Or did ZywOo realize there were players turning their backs to him in the vents, but he is holding safe for over-aggression? Not the case. Molotov, he's dropped the bomb. It does finish the job that was started so early on, and Glaive is going to finish off him as Astralis regain control of the package and can just go up the vents towards top if they want. Now they've killed ZywOo. Mizuta, doesn't really matter where Astralis go. He's not going to have much of a say in this round anyway, and a good decision for Astralis to duck back up A and safely take a plant. Mizuta wondering, where are they? Well, he's about to figure it out. Top site.
Well, Astralis seemingly having a field day, as it is. They're going to put that fifth up there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, Mizuta was hoping to find himself a rifle or anything, but instead he's just left walking around on like a scenic tour of the lowest site. And there you go. Tour guide found him. Not meant to be there really. Zipex shows him to the door. 5-0 for Astralis, but now the reinvestment back in for Team Vitality. And you understand why Mizuta ends up down on B, right? They make more than enough noise there to draw those rotations through. Real T-side masterclass thus far from Astralis, and this is like a situation you can't afford to get stuck in if you're Team Vitality. You need to get your first round on the board ASAP, or else you do just get this rinse-repeat of buy, lose, partial buy, probably lose because it's a partial buy, and then, you know, you just get stuck in that loop for what can sometimes feel like an eternity, and so they try and dig themselves out of it now. Trades go evenly with Magis dealing with a man over here towards outside. Mizuta now trying to move into position, and Magis was very, very fast on that offensive, but with that kill, the bomb has been dropped over outside of Hell.
Astralis had excellent smokes in this round. They had a Heaven smoke, a Hell smoke, a main smoke, and one that landed on top of the blue box to cut off a view to Silo from back garage, covering everything and just storming the yard. What a cool execute from Astralis. They haven't won the round yet, but they're still looking for it. Top site is being contained by Vitality, and Astralis have all three of their players grouped outside. Now, they can go anywhere with this. They can wrap Heaven, they can drop Secret to B, they can try and take ramp. And so that's why Misuta's come back from the lobby to regain this ramp control. He might meet someone here as well, but he drops, and I think Zipnik's heard it as well. He looked towards that position. Might have a bit of an inkling here as Astralis flank this player lower, but RPK gives up a kill, and now Astralis, they've got knowledge on one more of these dudes down B. They're going to try and find him. Oh,
ZywOo's going to find something for himself. It's Deve. Now leaves us in a 2v2. Can appreciate each and every single frag more as we've turned off X-Ray for the time being. Zipex 1v2.
Wow.
And he never saw it coming, and neither did you. Zipex falls. That's the first round on the board for Vitality.
I like that re-aggression from Mizuta as well, right? After Device gets a kill, because Astralis are stuck out ramp. They got a 2-on-2, they killed RPK, then they spot Deve, and they know, well, our options are go down B where Mizuta is, or go back into lobby where Device is, and they get kind of stuck between decisions there, like making their mind up, and that's when Mizuta re-aggresses after Device gets a kill. So, good time to push Astralis. Catching them off guard. He finds 3 in the round, and Vitality's first on the CT side. Glaive again back to the yard, back to shenanigans here for Astralis, but there is an AWP on the other side looking to hold down the line.
Outside smoke's now throwing in to try and facilitate this cross, and that will lock ZywOo out of the round momentarily. Dupree crosses behind him and actually gets into garage. Shox tries to catch a timing here out through Secret and knows that on the back of giving his position up, the best thing he can do is get out of there. He will still be down at this B site very early in this round. And there is ZywOo striking the first man from the tally of Astralis. Now, does he know that Dupree was able to get into the garage just mere moments ago? tries to get out of there, tries to get himself set up in hell so he doesn't have to worry about so many different angles, and in doing so, Dupree finds him. Now Masuta coming in with aggression into the lobby, had RPK with him, and they leave, they go back to the A side of the map, and now they know that at least in terms of the lobby and radio area, it's clear, and this is probably going to be a B play. Shox can now kind of confirm these suspicions that Team Vitality had, and if he gets a couple of kills, then maybe there was a chance that that bomb plant never even comes in. Now, it is a guarantee. They get the bomb planted, and it's only Masuta left, returning from his venture into the lobby, looking for a 1-on-3 that just isn't going to happen. Team Astralis, they'll get themselves a 6th round on the board, and with it, they bring the economy of Vitality back down to earth.
Good stuff from Astralis, certainly commanding the game as it stands. Six to 1, they pick up the first map, on their way to picking up this half at least. And if you're on your T side here, you're feeling really, really good about it.
Ooh, look how fast Astralis get control of the garage. It's almost like it's not Vitality's. Like, that's how quick Astralis have been to take this deep yard control and basically take the enemy's spawn. But it's an eco, and they're pushing lobby. That's the intention for Vitality, and Xyp9x is going to get met with a multi-peek. He goes down, gifting a gun to RPK. Astralis know this, though. They want to try and take the top site while they know Vitality are pushed into the lobby, but Dupree gets caught out and tagged down before he finishes off the job. Someone else finishes him. And now they're stuck in a 2-on-3. Good positions, but still disadvantaged. And RPK pushed up with the Molotov is somehow still standing. Device throwing one of his own. Won't burn out the player below him on the site. That shocks. But they do want to try and get rid of these 2 CTs. Astralis could go elsewhere, but right now ZywOo has cut them off from behind, and Glaive has to commit into the fire and flames. He's got one. Bomb still dropped yard, spots a second as well, and he knows that ZywOo has control over this package.
They're both so low. This is very doable. Plenty of time left on the clock, and ZywOo, he's holding something you'd normally see with maybe an AWP there. Now he's going to peek out and get a little bit more information. And that's going to be that Glaive has dropped down secret now. Does he commit to the plant here and lower?
Yeah.
Drops the smoke. He's going to stick it. And again, 30 HP on ZywOo, 14 on Shox, and here's Glaive. He has no idea where they're coming from. And boy, they both come down the ramp. Glaive, cognizant of this vent take. And now I think the timing window has passed. He's going to go ahead and give up on that idea. Wraps back around a decon with this bomb planted. Starting to tick slower. No kits over there for Vitality.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. Just a bullet could end this round, right? The bullet on the right player at the right time. And Glaive, he's found the first. He knows he's off it as well. Here's a shot from Shox, and that's enough to win the round here for Astralis. Glaive has done it on his own on this lower site. Really great clutch from him. Not just yeah, okay, playing with his food maybe, but I was going to say not offering anything up. He does actually get killed, but other than that, he plays it very, very safe, and that's a great call. I was wondering if he was going to overcomplicate it and go back up the vent, throw a smoke on B, climb up, knowing Vitality will rotate lower. But he doesn't know if they're there or not. So just takes a safe stick and secures a round here for Astralis. 7-1 lead. Damn. Vitality, they've got money, but do they have an answer?
Obviously, shout out Astralis as well. They must have heard that, you know, with the other game being so many OTs, we were a little, you know, behind schedule. So they came in today, and they're doing ESL a favor on this one. They're trying to get us all back up to speed. And, well, with how dominant this T side has looked, they certainly might, right? They're set up outside of the A site here and now in this round. There's a reinvestment from Vitality. And Astralis, they try and switch the pace up, but it's into RPK. And this man is immovable as he shuts down 3 on the entry. Glaive gets caught by Masuta aggressing into the lobby, and in the blink of an eye, this has left Device all alone in a 1v5 clutch. This is a damn near impossible round. Does manage to deal with Shox. And another. Ooh, and another Device with 3, but there is ZywOo ready and waiting. Device makes it interesting, but interesting is not a round for Vitality. Sorry, for Astralis, it is for Vitality. They'll put a second up on the board.
That was terrifying. That was very winnable for Device. In an instant, makes it a 2-on-1. RPK has got to be one of the best top site A players in the world. Like, this dude just sits behind silos in every game for Vitality and racks up 3 pieces when people go for hut plays. No one can deal with this man. And even though, you know, Vitality having a rough time, Astralis, they rush into the A site and they feed the beast while he sleeps. Well, he's not sleeping. He's definitely wide awake after that one. Device has got to be alert indeed. He's pushed on the outside smokes. The flash is good. Oh dear, it's a slow call for Shox. He won't check the corner, and Device gets the kill. That's excellent stuff. Maybe not so much from Vitality, but what can you do? Even gives a gun over to Dupree as well, who's on a Tech 9 in this round. Xyp9x has followed up inside of the lobby with a kill towards the door. And ZywOo's got to really do some heavy lifting. That's a good start, but he gets caught trying to escape. And Dupree will tag him down. He will be able to get out of position and rescope up in the garage. Flashed while doing so, but Device, yeah.
It's so close.
Second time around, it's his.
Yeah, ZywOo gets the crosshair over on him, but the click doesn't come through. That leaves Mizuta and RPK. And RPK is going to do a little bit of a dance out here around this smoke. Going to find Dupree in the process. That leaves just Mizuta after he's traded out by Magisk. So 1v3, very low on Astralis and a lot of time to work with, but certainly doable for Mizuta. He's got a molly, he's got 2 flashes. He's also got a headshot there on the Magisk to start this retake.
Yeah, instantly drops down. That's cool. That's a good trick because now Astralis, they can consider him going back up the ladder. That noise is not binding. It's not a contract they don't know. And so Mizuta rapping, they consider it, but they have to consider both options. Now Mizuta, first fight, tagged immediately, and he knows they're planting backside as well. Has a Molotov to deal with that. If he times it right, he could force out this player from behind the silo.
That's what he was waiting on. He wanted to know where that second player was. Dumping that Molotov, back sight, Xyp9x, too quick on the draw. A good idea by Mizuta, and obviously he didn't account for getting dinked down to little to no HP, but he waited for that second player, got that utility out there, and ultimately the fight was forced that he lost. So Astralis 8-2, commanding victory in this first half even. Maybe the second half too. We don't know yet because we're not quite there.
Yeah, but regardless, this is a great half. You know, 80 rounds, you're never going to turn your nose up at that. And Astralis are definitely not done either. I like how painstakingly slow they play that round. They have a 3-on-2 outside, and, you know, Device is hiding in a smoke, playing, you know, well, just hiding in a smoke. I mean, you know, that's crazy enough. But the rest of Astralis is sitting back, passive yard, holding for re-aggression. And RBK comes out main because Vitality want info. They want something. They don't hear anything A. They assume Astralis are maybe gone secret to B or a wrapping heaven. You don't want to just sit around and not be proactive on the CT side. A lot of the times you want to feel it out and try and get info. But instead, RBK just walks into 3 members of Astralis holding him outside. And he can only go 1-for-1.
And with ZywOo falling so early, this is just going to be the B commitment, right? They've got a path. They get past Apex. He might be able to get Device, and he does. I knew he would. I had complete faith the whole time. But there's the trade from Dupree, and it is just the cleanup. A team ace for Astralis. They overcome the pistols with ease. Now sat 9-2 up. Doesn't take a genius to know this is very, very one-sided. Vitality coming back in with another investment here, and that AWP in the hands of ZywOo. Now, he's looked a little more active towards outside, round by round, it feels like. So I wonder if we're going to see a bit more aggression from ZywOo here with this AWP. Alternatively, you know, like the aggression, as it's been coming in more and more, it feels like it hasn't been working out massively. So we might just see him kind of playing that heaven-hell rotate to assist at the ramp if needed. And Astralis, they try and change the pace of the game. They get a man down through the vents, but it is at quite the cost. Glaive goes down in amongst it all, and ZywOo has gone more aggressive towards outside. Dupree, well, he's opened up at B. A Device has now bested ZywOo. Dupree gets himself another. This round is sloppy, messy, and it's all over the place. But ultimately, Astralis have a plant down at that B bomb site, and this just leaves Shox and RPK in a 2-on-4, left looking for duels that, while they do come in, are not in favor of Team Vitality. And that's horrid, man. You think you're going to get to hold on to the weapons at least, but for some reason, Astralis is still where you are and not at that B site.
Yeah. Shox must have been going through a why is he there moment with Device sitting behind the garage. Like, why is he there? I don't know, but he is, and he's not letting you get away with any guns today, Vitality. 10 rounds to Astralis, and boy, oh boy, this is looking like a masterclass. Nuke is back on the menu for Astralis, and well, Inferno, that might not be, as Vitality aren't putting up enough of a fight to get us to a third at the moment. It's got to turn around. Sooner the better here for the Frenchman. But how attainable is a comeback? Shox, with an AWP, by the way, in this round, gets one bulleted by Magisk outside. They're going to try and grab that weapon. ZywOo can try and arm himself with the scoped rifle. Could even boost up here if they want to be crazy, but instead just going to hold more standard angles, making sure Astralis aren't pushing him. They are, but he does take down one with him. Bomb is still back in spawn. Astralis is just pressuring outside, and they've also taken the ramp room. On this eco, Vitality leaving positions open. ZywOo, there's a barrel. And Glaive knows it.
Oh, there we go. He waits. He was about to go a little bit wider, and it's probably good that he didn't, because then ZywOo would have seen him. But yeah, betrayed by the barrel. And RPK spotted getting up the vents as well. Things go from bad to worse in this round. Apex now, the only bastion of hope in a 1v4. And they know where he is. They're not even going to look to take the safe option. They just take the fighting option. And that's an 11th round on the cards now. Astralis absolutely dominating on the T side of Nuke and showing absolutely no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, you can see he wants to shoot the hands, right? The hands count for body damage. So, you know, you can get like 3 shots on the hands, but yeah, you know, like you said, the 2 options, go wide, also dangerous because you could get spotted, or, you know, just go for the body shots, which are a risk because ZywOo can back up, or just be patient and wait for ZywOo to peek, and that's exactly what he does. So Glaive, he makes the right call out of all 3 choices there. Patience is key, and Astralis are full of it. They are full of rounds as well. Oh dear. Zitnik's halfway through the 30 mag will just spray Apex through a door smoke. Glaive going to walk out ramp as well, expecting a little less than Mizuta there. He got it for free last time. This one, it's not on discount. Mizuta holding his own. And Astralis back into a 4-on-4.
Okay. Dupree deals with RPK. Masuta has aggressed into the lobby, and he's done this a hell of a lot here on this CT side, and usually it's a pretty good results. You know, at the very, very least, affording rotations to the rest of his team. But in this round, there's no rotations, there's no kills found from the lurk. Instead, Shox is now alone. And that smoke going down, I know where he is. Shox, no hope for him in this round. He tries to hold on to the M4 because this is pretty much all Team Vitality you're going to have heading in to the final round of this first half.
Oh, your bait. Smoking the spawn and then playing ahead of it. Astralis running with their knives out. Oh, the switch at the last second. Yeah, I mean, that's Shox hoping for kills, but the issue is, like, at this kind of level, firstly, those kills don't do anything other than make you look better on the scoreboard because Astralis have 16k money. But like you said, Harry, that would have been all Vitality have in the last round of the half, and so I feel like a save there would have, you know, not only been achievable, but just a far better decision. Of course, at 12-3 or 12-2, doesn't really matter at the moment.
No, they have, how do I say this?
Owned,
yeah. They've actually pwned that of Vitality so far. Device doesn't even stop.
Man, it looks like he's like on rails. Like it looks like he's just like I can't even explain it. He just swipes his way through, so casual, so clean, so Deve. And now this B site belongs to Astralis.
Was that his like cologne ad? like
Deve, more like Suave.
Ah, so clean, so fast, fluid. It's Device.
Deve, maybe more like divide, as they pick up the pace out towards B.
All right.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, man.
He's done something there. Oh. Yeah, I mean, they know where Apex is. It's a matter of time.
And they're saying at this point, like, what are you going to do, save? Like, they just wait and they get the kill, 13-2. Astralis, they are looking hot here on Nuke, and the fire has not stopped in the server. Vitality trailing behind in a very, very big way. Can they pull it back, or will this be the 2-0 story? You're going to have to join us after a quick break to get your answer.
fly. All is fair in love and war, but I can't do this anymore. No, no. Don't take me to a place I know, somewhere where I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. I need you more than you know. 'Cause baby, you feel like home. Take me to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. I need you more than you know. 'Cause baby, you feel like home.
It's hopeless when you think that you're lost. Oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, go, go. Let us heal and grow. You won't be alone. We're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life. We're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our
Well, we don't know if the microphones were live right then, but they might have been. However, they're live now, and so is the game. Astralis, 13-2. They have ran the board here thus far.
Yeah, nothing else to say about it. No other way to phrase it, Trace. The odds haven't even really adjusted that much because Astralis have not let go. They have grabbed Vitality by the neck and they're giving them a good old throttle. Let's see if they can throttle up the speeds now in this CT side, or T side rather, for Vitality. Or if they're just going to instead hold outside. That works too. Don't want to rush into a very prepared Astralis. Dupree's got a grenade. Sitting on that top site right now. Nades going in towards A. It is a bit of a ruse as they push the yard. It might be coming in through Mini anyway for this late A take with the Heaven smoke down. That provides a lot of opportunity, but Glaive is going to hear these footsteps, and Vitality are going for the long con, the full wrap round.
Sick pistol. I love the idea, right? With all these smokers going into A, including one up into Heaven, it has forced Astralis out of position and opened a pathway up down through ramp. However, with rotations already coming in, with players like Device trying to contend for the ramp room, Vitality, they're actually forced out of this position and it's back to lobby late in the round. So may as well have just not done all that, and now they're back at the beginning.
But it has adjusted the setup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just joking around. This is sick because it forces all of Astralis just kind of into all these horrible angles all across the map. And as a result, Team Vitality, they get every kill, and including that lovely little jump Glock from ZywOo. Zipex is last alive, but this is a 1v5 that's too much, now turned 1v4 even for this man.
We've seen a few jumping Glock burst kills today.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, but no, you're right, Harry. Yeah, like it's a good idea for Vitality. Maybe it's not their game plan they had initially. Even if it is, right? Even if they just wanted to show the bomb B and then go back up the ramp to lobby, whatever it is, it adjusts Astralis massively. They drop a player through the vents, their ramp player is forced down. That delays the ramp rotation to top site, right? Because typically a ramp player is going to do two things. They're going to come Heaven early, or they're going to come, lobby flank late. And, well, both of those positions are denied because Vitality owned both the lobby and the ramp and the hell, everything. So, yeah, it does a good job of sending players lower, and you can see Magist trying to come up back from B, get shot in the head in the vent. So Astralis were kind of pushed into the wrong areas by Vitality, and therefore the fights are favoring the French. I like that idea. And let's see if we've got any more ideas from Vitality. Do you have a buy at least, but Astralis have forced the issue right back with scouts. Ooh. The old fakeroo.
Yeah, now they exploded through main. Dupree not able to answer the call. He does get one, and Device is tagged up and now finished off ZywOo over here outside. 3 on 2 as this bomb looks to go down. That nade from Zepex finds a lot of damage onto RPK. And now for Team Vitality, Apex has really got to deliver a lot here on this main push. He gets spotted and actually does nothing. RPK alone, 1 on 3. We've been bigging him up and his A side holds all game long. But this one is too much to ask of him. Defuse going to come in from Astralis and the Force Buy finds success. That's now both Force Buyers you've seen Astralis do. They just purchase up a ludicrous amount of scouts.
Yeah.
And I kind of love it. Because it's like, you know, the argument always used to be with the scout, like normally you kind of get like 1, maybe 2, and then you'd have pistols and everyone else. And it's like, if the scouts can tag these players up, then the pistols are that much more effective. Well, this still holds true for Astralis, but with so many scouts able to peek into these long angles, suddenly the spacing that Vitality would usually go for, which is these longer ranges, you know, to stay in kind of favorable fights, actually turns against them. Yeah. And they end up, you know, just falling prey to these scouts doing loads of damage. And I love this from Astralis. Yeah. I wonder if this is something we're going to see them just keep on doing.
At times, scouts can be better than rifles, right? Because your movement speed is very fast. So if you're the one peaking angles with scouts, you can be the one jiggling and doing what Device is going to do here. You're getting a shot, ducking off. And right there, like how Shox hasn't done anything. Luckily, Device dies to ZywOo. But in that engagement between Shox and Device, Shox gets tagged and he doesn't do a lick of damage because Device is just wiggling and jiggling. So yeah, I like the scouts. I like to see them be used in you know, Force Buy rounds a lot from Astralis, and it's netted them something. But right now, that something is getting stripped away from them. 2 kills the way of ZywOo outside, and a 5 on 3 for Vitality.
Yeah, Astralis looked to set up for the long haul here in the upper site. Meanwhile, Zipex left to his own here in the ramp room. He's about to get a lot of unwanted company in the form of Vitality. He's going to get caught off guard. Just throwing a Molotov, but Mizuda's going to be there quickly with a deagle, and that's going to cause a drop here for the rest of the Astralis players. Now, a little bit weary that someone could come down secret. Dupree just outside of the scope of vision, and the timing doesn't work out for ZywOo. He looks right, and he's dead to the left.
Yeah, it suppresses his own you know, retreat as well, just to get that AK, and a save, yeah, makes a lot of sense here. Why risk the AKs? I could see that would be the sole reason that Astralis would save here. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons, but, you know, 14-3, who cares if you're losing a couple of rounds? You know, this does at least allow you to get the better weapons for your follow-up, and I'm sure they'll force round these as well. No reason not to, again, with such a lead, such a streak. So 2 AKs in, you know, whatever goes around them, even if it's pistols or UMPs, it's still a really good situation for Astralis. We know that, you know, 1 or 2 players on this team can just win a round for them, so they've got more than enough to work with, and they're going to buy around it still.
Yeah, and the thing for Astralis is, you know, we see teams get up to 14, we see teams get up to 15. I think some teams fall into a trap of saying, okay, well, eventually those rounds will come to us. Well, Astralis, I don't necessarily know that they ever have that mindset. No. They never really let off the gas.
One thing Chad told me, which, you know, wait, was it Chad? Oh, I'm trying to think where this came from, actually. Wait, I'll save it when I remember. But yeah, it's a good point about that, Trace. Tough. Wow. You don't know it.
Sick.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, man. This is why we bring you in, you know? Like, this is the kind of hard-hitting topics that no one else is touching on. You know, what did Chad say?
Who knows? We don't know.
And Vitality, well, These bunch of chads are trying to get control of the ramp room.
I remembered
they grab it.
It was Launders. It wasn't Chad. And when we had him on,
well,
he explained how a lot of teams play like they've already won and how you can't afford to do that because of, you know, obviously the team that's up against 14 is going to be trying extra hard knowing that they, you know, are just a round away from a loss or 2 rounds away from a loss. So, you know, letting your foot off the gas or thinking that a game is over before it is obviously a very dangerous thing. I just wanted credit to go where credit was due, Trace. That's all.
So basically what I just said and what Launder said.
Yeah. Hey,
Combined
maybe
together.
Yeah, it's 2 for 1. It's a discount deal.
What are you trying to say? Do we look like discount dudes to you? Launders, you hearing this, man?
Trace, Launders is of high quality.
Launders
I would worry about yourself.
Launders
first.
actually said that if they were ever going to move to TriCasting, it'd get Hugo. But now maybe we'll reconsider that whole...
I definitely would if I was him.
yeah, I mean, after these kind of remarks, right? Like...
I mean, Harry's the one, you know, talking, but he's the one jutting into the real duo that is me and Trace.
That is true.
The graphics here at Rotary tell
I know.
Trace and I are the
I've been
casters.
derailing the whole thing.
You're just, I don't know, Trace is a host and a caster with me, and you're just kind of, I don't know, we invite you along on these, you know, extravagant...
I really
You're a bit of a
appreciate
ginger.
it, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I'm the token ginger. I like that. You know, you got to have one. And here I am.
I guess, I mean, I don't know that the movie statistics are going to back that up, but nonetheless, what we are going to back up is Astralis into this game. They're going to have some AKs to include the Mag 7 on Dupree.
Ooh, that is a meaty Granada. Oh dear. Shocks finished off by the Deagle as well. Doesn't even get a chance, and the bomb has been dropped by Glaive. He tries to escape. He could not. Device gets one before, before he backs out, I guess. He's down to 8. He's not going to be re-peeking after that one, you would think, but he seems keen for the kills. RBK trying to fight back.
Wow.
The grenade is timed so well with the shots from Zipex, and he is going to finish off the job. Device gone eventually, but Zywoo's alone.
This is that Zywoo guy. Everybody keeps talking about him. He's on 44 HP. He has an AK in his hands, and he's got a lot of work in front of him, a lot of ground to lay if he even wants to get near the bomb. The crossfires are set up. Zywoo's looking for a fight, thinking, hey, maybe someone's going to peek me from secret. Or the real long con here, go up the vents, but I don't think he's going to go all that way around. He's got to smoke 2 flashes and a crossfire set up between Astralis to die for. And maybe he will die with it. He's going to peek out.
Ooh.
They discover him. They know exactly where he is. He sits on 30. He can't get a fight to save his life at this point.
Yeah, Dupree was using the USP because he has a shotgun, right? And Zywoo didn't know where the silent shot was coming from. And I think he's finally figured it out. But, ooh, trying to pre-fire. Very close. If he did that maybe a second later, he could have got it. But right now, he's hoping Astralis overplay their hand. That is far from the case. Dupree's playing the bomb. And Zywoo, he's giving it a go. He's going to make a move. But 15 seconds right now. He's got to be thinking about dying. And not after the time either. Doesn't want that. Astralis is just backed up. I love this. They're going to try and kill him after time, but Dupree has gone down, and Zipnix will just take the round instead of risk things. Astralis 15-5, and that's going to be match series, super series point here.
That's right. Super series it is. So far, a lot of the series that delivered would have been that of Dignitas taking on Fnatic before this. That is still very fresh in my mind. But, you know, Astralis, again, schedule fans, so looking to keep us up to date. 15-5, this could be the last round of the game. Vitality know this. They're not in a hurry to make that the case.
I mean, that's something that Astralis were very, very keen to kind of change the meta on as well, right? Was in keeping like a very, very structured kind of practice and like team building routine, right? And, you know, they're keeping us to our routine as well here at the Pro League by returning us to scheduled programming. Device pushing up outside, deals with 2, and now the remaining 3. Into the arms of Zipex they go. Masuta gets that trade. They drop down to the B site, but there's actually more players for Astralis here than there are for Team Vitality. They preemptively rotated down. They sent one of them back up the vents just to make sure.
Oh,
and that bomb planter gets caught. Apex now all alone, has to deliver up one hell of a 1v4 if he wants wants to keep the dream alive for Vitality. And while he does deal with the first man, he is pinned on in. They mop him up. The defuse going to come through. And Astralis, they will take this series here on Nuke. 16-5, even more convincing than that of Dust 2. And across the board, Astralis come out swinging. 16-7 back on Dust and a 16-5 here on the second map.